rest of my life, rest of my life, rest of my life, rest of my forever. Yeah, this is my job for the rest of my life, the rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my life, the rest of my life. This is my job for the rest of my life, the rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my life. Telling the truth, rest of my life, loving the most high, all of my life, rest of my life, rest of my life, rest of my life, yeah. I'm standing my ground. The truth is the weapon. Please don't Malcolm X me. They shining the message and killing the messenger. All over words. It must be the truth that I'm telling. These devils offended. You call it they trash. Don't buy up the shit that they selling. They label you bad. God know what leads to the flash. Know what they hide. Know that my homeland ain't where I reside. Hey, who am I kid? I'm speaking to ears that never do listen. You gotta be talking them digits. Helping the children. Principal mission. I am a pediatrician. I'm done with this story. Get it, this story. Brother, I'm doing my story. Cause we are the people. I'd rather be better, never that equal. The feelings is mutual. Ain't speaking no evil. Examine your leader. Not doing religion. I'm open with politics. Calling me so controversial. They say I'm too raw, but spit is so eloquent. Like I've been spitting in curses. Their business is personal. Won't charge you for food. Won't do what a church do. I do what a nurse do. I call on a doctor and wait on my number. Forever I'm humble. I live with my shame. Let me die with some honor. 100. This is my job for the rest of my life. The rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my life. The rest of my life. This is my job for the rest of my life. The rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my life. Telling the truth. Rest of my life. Loving the most high. All of my life. Rest of my life. Rest of my life. Rest of my life. Rest of my life.
Shalom, y'all. Shalom. I know it's been a minute. I've been real busy. I got interviews backed up. I'm probably be doing an interview every day this week or something like that. Or I might do a whole bunch on Sunday. Just a whole bunch of stuff going on. Getting ready for some of these events coming up. We got an event in Tennessee, so I'll be in Tennessee next week, and then get a week off, and then I'll be up in Detroit. So just a lot a lot of stuff getting together, getting things in order for that. And then like I said, I got interviews backed up. We have the Hebrew reggae singer, the sister. We'll be bringing her on. A group out of Detroit, be bringing them on. PZ, be bringing him on. I forget who else, but it's a whole, I have a backup. I got to get on the ball, get these interviews out, and get shaking and moving with this thing. But anyway, with that said, the title of today's lesson is what makes a marriage work. Okay, so we're gonna be going through that. I'm gonna get my lesson material pulled up. I see y'all are coming in. And like I said, let me move this. And yeah, I have on Facebook. I'm trying to focus on streaming all this through my through my Facebook fan page now. or not business page, whatever you want to call it. So if you don't hit, if you don't, there's an option up there, follow and notification thing you got to do, and if you don't hit that, it won't notify you like it does on my personal page. So, like on a personal page, you'll get an audible notification that I'm live. It doesn't do that on the Facebook business page. It's a little different, but it's easier for me to upload to that. So I'm taking a hit right now on views, but later on it'll pick up. But Facebook business page doesn't notify you like like a personal page. So yeah, but it's all good. I see y'all slowly coming in. But what I'm gonna do while y'all are coming in there, and shalom to y'all over there on YouTube too. While y'all are coming in, I'm going to pull up the lesson here. And like I said, we're going to be talking about marriage and relationship issues. If you were married and the marriage didn't work out, or if you're married and you're separated, or if you're married and it's rocky, or you're married and there's just issues, a lot of arguing, fighting, stuff like that, today's show is the show for you, okay? Today's show is going to be a good show for you. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. So yeah, today's show will be a good show for you. If you have questions, comments, concerns about marriage or a topic about marriage that you want me to address, I can definitely hit on it. The way the way the teachings go is the because it's interesting. This week I was watching some brothers. They were teaching on relationships in the black community, and I've run into brothers on these levels before. And while these brothers can brilliantly articulate the issues going on in the black community and the dynamics going on in the black community between brothers and sisters in relationships, I mean, and they were putting it was pure truth what they were bringing out. But my big issue is they never offer solutions. The solutions weren't offered, and some of the, after listening to it for a while, it got to be okay. All right, where are the solutions? So what I try to do in any lesson I'm bringing out is give you, and not try to do, what I do in these lessons is give more solutions than anything else. Because we're highly familiar with the problems. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But with that said, let me pull my lesson up. All right. There we go. All right. And like I said, when we're going to hit this marriage thing, it's going to be straight down the middle. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be a beat men up fest. It ain't gonna be a beat down the woman fest. It's just gonna be the way I want to do it is just show the proper dynamics and functionality in a relationship, because it's cause and effect, and it's like a chain, and everything affects the other. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, let me see. Relation, where? All right. All right, there we go. All right, so we are here. Okay. And the if I had to boil all relationship problems, problems I see in marriage, if I had to boil everything down to one thing, um, you know, if I had to put my finger and make it one problem, it just be roles. People are not functioning in their biblical roles in the relationship. Um, and this is, you know, just due to how this society is. We talk about it all the time. It's very obvious. There's an agenda to uh, for men to be put in a woman's position and women to be put in a men's position. And what do I mean? For men to be put in a woman's position and women to be put in a man's position is biblically. So the biblical role of a man, well, now you have women functioning in that or encouraged to function in that when it comes from society, media, the education system, everything. They're pushing women in a man's role, and they're uh, in reverse putting a man in a woman's role. And it's so it's so widespread that it seems like the thing to do. Everywhere you look, you can look in religion, you can look in the Hebraic community, you can look on TV, you can look at the movies, you can look in school. Everywhere you look, it's telling you to reverse these roles, and opposite the Bible. And it gets to the point where it's hard to find any information or a model saying otherwise. Okay? So, but yeah, real fast with that said, let me say shalom to everybody watching. Shalom Solomon, Taquina, shalom. Shalom Robert, shalom Anna. My wife, Koya, she's in there. Virtuous Jetta, shalom. Good to see you on there. Shauna, shalom. Let's see who else. Brenda, shalom. So shalom to all my people. And then shalom to all y'all. Shalom to all y'all watching on Facebook. Shalom Jay. Shalom Shaka Israel. Shalom to you. And shalom to everybody else watching over there on Facebook. Good to see y'all in there. Yeah, Shaka Israel, he said gender swapping. Yeah, basically, yeah. And Satan, from the very beginning, that was his desire, to turn things upside down. And I'm as a married man, been married over 10 years, there's always a pressure exerted on you to cave into this, And that's why I always teach, I got a lesson coming up, how to be a soldier. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be good. Okay? But there's always, you got to have a warrior mindset at all times, because you're always under attack. Okay? Just real talk. Your masculinity and your role is always under attack. They're always trying to get you to cave in. And then for a woman, they're always trying to bribe you and entice you into, like the op here said, into a gender swap. You know what I'm saying? And into you putting on the pants in the house, as they say, and taking on that role. And so they're always enticing you into that. And whether people like what I'm saying or not, because some of the stuff I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna back it up with straight book. I got me a whole bunch of Bible scriptures here, but whether people like what I say or not, it's facts. Like reality is gonna, stamp off on what I say, because what I'm saying is coming straight from the book. Okay, like I said, we're gonna go straight down the middle with these scriptures. We're gonna get surface level meaning of these scriptures. We're not gonna read into them, because if you go against what the book's saying, you're gonna struggle in your marriage and your life. It's just gonna be burdensome going through this life. And that's the whole deception and the whole draw on this thing. Okay, is the whole deception and the whole draw on this thing is destruction of our marriages. Okay, and there's a lot of evidence backing up what I'm saying. Like with me personally, it's like a lot of relationship counseling I do. Okay, so it's what I see firsthand. Okay, so all right. So like I said, if y'all watching, you got anything you want to add to the lesson, put it in the comments there. I'll definitely bring it out. If you have any questions, comments, concern, put it in there. Shalom, Yvette. Good to see you in there. Okay, and we're going to get it. All right. And like I said, even this, what I'm teaching here, there's kickback. It could be some of this stuff. It could be painful to take in and painful to come to the realization of, but it's not as painful as going through the dysfunction and the stuff I hear about going on in people's marriages. Okay, so and like what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with the men. But what you're gonna find, the way I teach, I don't. If I'm starting with the man, I still tie it into how the woman has to fit into that and everything like that. And I'm going to say this. The biggest thing for our men when it comes to getting your house in order and dealing with these women, okay? And I know the way our women can be, and it can be difficult. But step one is being... I talk about being comfortable with the uncomfortable, being a warrior, okay? In military training, all right. Hey, Corey, turn your phone down a little bit. Yeah. So what I talk about in military training, when they train you in military training, we were doing some weapons training last week with some of the Mishpachah. What's going on? Oh, you gonna sit in here? Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to move all that stuff. So we were doing some weapons training with some of the Mishpachah, and the number one thing I talk about is, and the main reason why they do training and basic training and all that stuff like that is when you're in war, when you're at war, you can't panic. You can't lose your head, okay? How that manifests in a relationship is dudes get frustrated in arguments. They get frustrated dealing with women. They get frustrated when they're dealing with their stubbornness or they're talking back and all that. And like I said, we're going to read through some of these Bible scriptures here, and it tells, it clearly outlines the role of the woman. You see Abraham, his wife called him Lord and all this stuff like that. And then dudes see what they got, what they dealing with at their house, or I'm teaching the men, like, because you have some dudes who have no idea what the role's supposed to be. They realize that they're dominated by their wife. Their wife is ruling over them and things are upside down. And they realize they got to stand up and get in their biblical role as a man. And when they realize that, they go home like Hitler or Stalin, and then the wife, there's kickback, and they get frustrated and they break under that frustration, and it turns into a boxing match, literally. It gets physical or something like that. So step one to the men is learn to deal with frustration, be able to don't get frustrated, so separate your emotions from that. And that's why in coming lessons, I got to teach on, and this is both parties, the men and the women alike. I got to teach on dealing with frustration, emotional control, being able to recognize what you're feeling and watch it and separate from it and not just respond to it. Okay? So that's a big one. Let's see. All right. Yeah, Shalom Diamond. Good to see you in there. Good to see y'all coming in. Shalom, your vet. Good to see you in there. Shalom, Will of the Most High. All right, so that's a big one. And let me see what I got here. Let's see. All right. All right. So let's see. All right. So first verse is we're gonna start with Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, which that is in the Apocrypha. So when you look up the verse, they refer to the book as not Ecclesiastes, but Ecclesiasticus, or they'll refer to it as Sirach, and it's 27 verse 3, and it says, unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. Okay? And what is holding yourself diligently in the fear? What is that? Okay? So hold on. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. All right. And it says, in a way that shows care and conscientiousness in one's work or duties. Okay? So we are breaking, we have defined the word. Here, I put it up there. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I just like the definition breaks it down. So let's read it like this so you understand exactly what I'm saying. It says, unless a man hold himself in a way that shows care and conscientiousness in one's work or duties, in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. Okay? So what that's saying is, unless you as a man are like going step by step by this word with the way you're conducting yourself in your house, in your marriage, and dealing with your woman, unless you're conducting yourself like that, your house is going to be overthrown. Your house is not going to be at peace. It's not going to be ran in a way that is conducive to what the word says. And when I say conducive to what the word says, it's going to be a bunch of dysfunction. It's going to be burdensome. It's going to be issues up in your house. So, what do I mean overthrown? Well, what's going to happen, you're going to have more of the media coming in your house, more of the society's mindset or whatever you want to call it coming in your house, influencing your house. So it's going to be influencing you and your behavior more than the word is, more than the way of the Most High. And what does that look like? Well, what that looks like is you're watching more television, tell lies by visions. You know what I'm saying? You're watching more of that than you're taking in this word. And I'm gonna show y'all in some coming lessons. getting your mind right, getting aligned with this word, it's not complicated. It's not complex. Okay. Um, Getting aligned with this word is repetition. It's simple repetition. That's what it is. Okay. You just it says meditate on this word day and night. So you literally take in more stuff that's aligned with this word, whether it be lessons, Bible studies, having the Bible on an audio book, all this stuff. You simply take in more of that than you're taking in society, secular stuff, movies, music, stuff from advice from people of the world, watered down lessons that are subliminally telling you the same stuff the world tells you. You simply take in more of that. If you take in more of that than you are this word, your house is going to be overthrown. You're going to have all types of mess going on up in your house because you're bringing in what the world says and not what thus saith the Lord. Hey, Shalom, Divine, they're waking. Good to see you in there. All right. So let me see. All right. You had anything?
No, those are great points.
Okay.
You can't be out here watching a bunch of TV and.
Nah. Well, it's okay to watch a movie.
Fellowshipping with the world and then try to
right.
be spiritual.
Yeah, I mean, and we watch a movie every now and then, but we don't have the television on all day. Even the kids, we backing them off, because it's easy. The kids they'll get sucked in, start watching stuff real fast, and then they're quiet and they ain't bothering you, so you just let them keep watching it. But even them, it's like you have to be a gatekeeper of what comes in this house. And I'm telling you, this stuff can creep in real fast with TV. You'd be shocked, but that's a big influencer, especially with the TV shows they got. Like, and I don't know what they got now.
Yeah, because we don't.
Yeah, but I mean, they got house, like what I used to see is Housewives of Atlanta and stuff, and all you hear is like a bunch of yelling, and it's like, what's going on over there? And then you see them women acting like nightmares. That's terrible to have going in your house. All right, so let's So we're going to go to 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. Okay, we're going to read some of the some heavy scriptures. We're going to get into some heavy stuff now, all right? All right, it says, likewise, so this is 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that ye prayers be not hindered. Okay? And the reason I read this is because I see this scripture not broken down properly and people not getting all the meat off the bone on it. So matter of fact, what I'm going to do is actually read it in deeper context. Okay? So I'm going to pull 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. We're going to go on over there to that scripture. And I'm going to get a little more off it so there's better understanding on it. Okay? So, because I'm telling you, man, when brothers and when sisters come into this truth, it's like an adjustment. And sometimes people can go to extremes and not get a proper understanding. Lynn put, whoa, wish my testimony wasn't 5 years long. I would need 100 pages long each year to confirm my understanding of the subject you're on. Whoa, I do get it and understanding. Okay. Yep. And like I said, says if you want to put anything in there, you can. All right, but so this one, it says, let's kind of read it in deeper context. It says, but let it be, for after this manner in the old times, the holy women also who trusted in God adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. So, and it says own husbands. You're in subjection to your own husbands, not some other man, not some spiritual whatever the heck, or some pastor, nothing, but to your husband. So even if your husband ain't in the truth, you still need to be in subjection to him. Because I know one of the dynamics you see happening a lot is women will go to churches and they'll be in subjection to the pastor and serve the pastor of a church better than they serve their husband. Nah, be in subjection to your own husband, be obedient to him. And if he asks you to do something that's wicked and that's not biblical, you're not obligated to do that. But everything else, you need to be in subjection. But watch this, because we're going to go heavy with this. It says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. So you never hear that scripture read, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement. But it says, now listen, likewise ye husbands dwell with them according to knowledge. So all this is in context. Okay, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that ye prayers be not hindered. So how do you honor the woman as a weaker vessel? Okay, and one of the ways, and I'm gonna go in deeper because than I normally do on this, because it says what I normally teach is honoring the wife as a weaker vessel is empathizing, being able to understand where they're coming from, okay, and what's going on with them, what's going on in their head. One of the things I teach with a lot of men is, like, when a woman's being difficult, they're being angry, and or when you're trying to get your house in order and all that, and they're being rebellious and they're fighting you on it, understand where it's coming from. When you're in an argument with them, which it's not a sin to be in a daggone argument, so don't get that. But when you're in an argument with them, understanding what's going on, because one of the things I teach, sometimes it might be something, it might be hormonal or something. Sometimes it might be that you're not leading, so they don't have a respect for your leadership, okay? Because for some reason, like I said, they don't have respect for you because you're not being a real masculine man. You're being a pushover or whatever. Sometimes it is they're acting up because because you're not making wise decisions, and they can see that. Sometimes they just being daggone difficult. And this can be a lot of times when you're trying to establish the power in your house. Okay? And so in doing that, how do you honor them as a weaker vessel? A lot of dudes, because I get the calls, and it won't be hormonal. Their leadership is fine. The dude's leadership is fine. The dude's decision making is fine. Okay? And it is the woman. Okay? But how do you honor them as a weaker vessel? With a lot, and this is what I was listening to this week when I was listening to some of these dudes teach. This is what they were missing. They miss at how our women, they are the weaker vessel, and how they've been hurt out here, how they've been dogged out by men their whole life, how they've been violated by men. The thing I always say is 50% of our women have been raped or molested by the time they're 20, and it's really higher than that. It's actually 75%. Or real close to 75% of our women been raped and molested by the time they're 20 years old, or definitely dogged out or misled by men or whatever, because there hasn't been a man there to tell these women, hey, watch out for dudes, this, that, and other. So anyway, what I'm saying is most of these women are damaged goods. Why? Because we're under these curses. Same thing with our men. Most of our men have no idea how to be a daggone man. So honoring the woman as a weaker vessel is understanding and being patient like Christ was patient with the church. Understand that these women, you give them a pass, And when I say give them a pass, they ain't letting them walk all over you. But on the same note, that's knowing, all right, you know what? She hard-headed right now. Let me back off. Let me go take a break. Let me leave her alone for a while. Sometimes when they super hard-headed with sugar on top, leave the house. Give them snooze them. Give them a 2-day snooze. Go on a vacation somewhere or whatever. Because I get the emails and the phone calls. Hey man, yeah, she won't listen. She won't do what you say, man. She not calling me Lord. She not obedient. She fight me on everything, and it's like I be arguing with her. I be shaking. I feel like Sugar Ray. I want to let them blows go. And it get physical sometimes. I'm like, dude, you need to leave. Leave. Nobody tell nobody that. I tell them leave the house. You might go get a hotel and don't call or text or communicate for a week. Oh, but I got kids. Leave them all for a week or something. Because if you put your hands on her, you're going to be gone for good. Somebody going to get hurt for good. It's going to be permanent. You leave, you calm down, you let everybody, all that emotion come out, and you calm down. And while you're gone, you get in the Word and get your mind right and learn. And like I said, I got a lesson coming up. It's called How to Be a Soldier. And what I'm going to be showing the men, and it applies to women too, is how to calm down, how to discipline yourself, because this life ain't yours. If you call yourself in this truth, you a soldier for the Most High. Now you got to follow orders that's laid out in the book. So you got to get your emotions aligned with those orders. Like they tell you quick in the military. Any of y'all been in the military, man? Anybody tell you, they tell you as soon as you get in the military, they don't give a damn what you feel. You follow orders. And when you get in a real time, now, and granted, I was in the Air Force, so I wasn't on any battlefield per se, but I was in wartime conditions. I was in the Middle East while we were at war, and the ops tempo, I worked on airplanes, we call it the ops tempo, or the pace at which things are happening when we're working on the planes. It picks up, it goes fast. And if you're not diligently adhering to what you are told, how you were told to operate and function, you'll get killed out there. You'll kill a pilot. You'll do a job wrong, the plane will crash, or it's dangerous working on planes while they're operating and everything's running. You get yourself killed out there. So I understand, so going back to what I said, when you're in these situations, you got to you have to understand that. Like that's a heavy scripture right there that I'm reading. Like this is a big thing that folks miss right here. That's why I'm putting it on the whole daggone screen. Honoring, giving honor to the wife as unto the weaker vessel. Dude, these curses have affected our women they hurt them more. Like they're the ones more damaged by what happens with these curses. Like they take, like it's more destructive to them because they're the weaker vessel, and whether they want to or not, a man needs to be over these. These women ain't supposed to be out here uncovered at any moment. Like my daughters, they need to go Now, look, Babylon is going to entice them to, oh no, you can go out there and go to college and go off and turn into a whore and do all this crap out here that they want them to do out in this world. These women ain't, them girls, my daughters ain't supposed to be out there with no man over them. They need to go from under me to under a husband and nothing in between. And like I said, I'm going to be doing another lesson that I really know folks ain't going to like about women that are out there that aren't covered. Okay? And let me tell you, before I came into this truth, I used to study pickup. I used to study how to manipulate women to get what I want and all that. And the stuff that's out there, I'm telling you ladies, if you ain't like it, you're going to get deceived out there. It's very misleading stuff. And it's designed what? To go straight at your emotions. It's like, you got to diligently hold on to this book. But the stuff I see happening out there to our sisters, like that article they put out a couple of years ago, the new face of depression, the independent black woman, it's like 900 babies a day are aborted by black women. That's the highest demographic, and all this is a result of them being uncovered. But this is a dynamic. So like them dudes was pointing out, like where I was like, okay, this dude, I could only listen to like 2 of this dude's lessons because he just banging on the black women. But that's a dynamic because at the end of the day, it always comes back to a weak black man. And when I say a weak black man, that's not a black man willing to stand up and yell at a woman all day. No, it's like a dude who like, all right, she done had enough. I ain't, let me just back off. Let me be patient with her. I know she ain't gonna just turn overnight. And sometimes they ain't gonna just, certain things ain't gonna just come out of them. But let's look at you, because the model of marriage is a model of Christ and how he dealt with Israel. or let's bring it all the way home of how he dealt with you and how he was patient with you, being, like he was patient with me. I was a one-handed internet bandit. I was a lust-filled dog, so he was patient with me. So when my wife's off, I'll be patient with her, But I'm gonna say, no, I ain't gonna be no damn pushover.
Does your wife try to push you over?
Huh?
Does your wife try to ever push you over?
Hell yeah. Huh? Go ahead, speak up. You don't talk quiet. Let the people hear you.
I said, do I try to turn you into a pushover?
In a woman's, it's gonna be a power struggle.
Do we have power struggles?
No, I mean, we 10 years into this thing. We have a very, let's talk about that. So me and Koya's relationship, and she's sitting right here. So I'm keeping it 1,000. Ain't no, I'd put her on camera. You want me to put you on camera? No, I put her on camera, but she ain't dressed. She just got up. But, no, me and Koya, our relationship it's not rocky. Like, she understands her biblical role as a woman. Okay? She not no pushover. She not no, whatever you like, king, and all that. And I wouldn't want that. She will, if something needs to be said to me, if she sees me erring, she's very vocal about it. But then on the same note, she knows the thin line of where it goes from being vocal to where it turns into her nagging. Okay? And there's a scripture where it's like a nagging woman, better it is to dwell in the house with a dragon than with a nagging woman, or with a lion, okay, than with a nagging woman. The Bible tells you, get out of the house if she running her mouth and she won't stop and you're getting angry. It's not good to be in there. But Koya knows when it has gotten to the point where, okay, now I'm wearing away at this man and I'm nagging on him and I'm beginning to usurp his authority. I'm beginning to wear him down as a man, because that's what that ends up doing. But that's what the world encourages you to do as a woman. So, but she also knows from dealing with me that, look, if I tell him something, he's gonna listen to it or take what he can from it or whatever. Like, he ain't gonna be stubborn. Like, how dare you talk to your Lord in that manner and correct me? You know, she know I'm very open to correction. She don't operate in subtlety or subliminality. I don't even know if that is a damn word, but y'all understand what I'm saying. I don't have, there's no guesswork with her. I know where I stand. Sometimes I have a tendency to be a Captain Caveman and not real romantic. She let me know that. You ain't being romantic enough. You know, let's do this. Boom, 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 boom. We'll do it. So that that is communication. Okay. Okay, I see y'all going in here on the comments. Let's see. Father, awaken, I did not grow up. Okay. We're going to get that, Sister Diamond. Because people don't understand the magnitude of not growing up with a father in the house. Or not growing up with a man in the house. And even a man who's not in his proper biblical role, to see a man in the house, because like my father wasn't all hardcore grounded in these scripts, but he was a masculine dude for real. So just me watching him, because we didn't have all these like heart to heart, father son, come here son, hey dad, and all this crap. I just rock with him. He'd be like, hey, y'all want to hang out? That's what he say to me and my brother. I'm like, yeah. Hanging out, man. He had some errands to run, and we'd just go with him. He'd go out to the junkyard. He'd go to the electrical store. He'd go down to his job or something, and we'd just be rolling with him on a Saturday or whatever. And he'd take us out somewhere to eat, and really wouldn't tell us nothing, but we'd just watch how he rock. And like, I can't, because that's another lesson I got to do. The missing masculinity, man. I watch dudes out here, they don't even know they masculinity missing. They don't even know it. They can't even see the feminine ways that they got about themselves. And a lot of these dudes can't understand why women aren't attracted to them, and why their relationships are so rocky and all this stuff. It's heavy. And same for women. My daughters, I could have them memorize the whole Torah. Okay? It don't amount to a hill of beans if they don't. The most powerful witness is watching you walk it out. They see how daddy operate in the house. Okay. What's up? Oh, okay. You had? Did you have? Oh, okay.
No, you're doing good.
They see how their father function in the house. They see how their mother function in the house.
Yes, they do. They do.
Yeah. They see how the roles. They watch it. Okay, and it's huge. And I see it's to the point now, man, I can spot a woman or a man sometimes without even talking to them who didn't have it in their life. There's people at work where I see them wrestling with authority at work because they didn't have that in their life, you know? I see people in ministry wrestling, like in leadership or whatever, all types of positions, so-called ministry out there that wrestle with that because they didn't have that in their life, you know? Even me, to a certain extent, coming through the military, wrestling with authority and realizing that, hey, you know, how to properly interact with authority. That's probably, let me write that down. That's another lesson I'm going to have to do because that's a big one, you know? How to deal with authority. That's huge for our nation, okay? But yeah, scripture memorization don't mean nothing. It's all application. Faith without works is dead. It don't amount to nothing. And me and Koya, now, like I said, I grew up, my father was in the house, so the basic core masculinity stuff, I knew, you know. I wasn't walking around talking like this. And you know, I knew the difference between masculine, you know, I wasn't letting dudes punk me. I'm, to this day, you know, I'm down to fight. I don't mind getting punched in the face and stuff. I've been in fights and I ain't scary. I'm not afraid of conflict, whatever. But that's not all of what being a man is. There's like I said, dealing with authority, and there's a lot of other things of what being a man really is. Dealing with conflict a certain way. Did you want to put anything in there? Because Koya didn't grow up with a father per se in her life, but she did see.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Go ahead.
No, I had a stepfather.
Yeah, you had your stepfather.
Right.
But I said with your biological.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But she
he
did.
was my father.
Right.
It's just because a biological father gave seed.
Right.
It's the man who raises you and mentors you and who's in your life, who's involved, who's supporting you.
Right.
You know,
so
that was my father.
So and so what I was gonna say is she did grow up seeing a marriage model. Right. And then later on when she got older and you got into that church, you saw an even more I guess detailed example of marriage.
Correct.
Okay, so correct. But what I'm saying is a lot of women and men who struggle in their relationships didn't have that. Right. So and even then, you know, we had to grow in our marriage. You know, it took growth and all that in our marriage. But I'm telling you got a lot of people. You might have a woman who was raised by her mother, and a man who was raised by his mother, and then they get married, and like a lot of times when I counsel brothers and sisters, or we're talking about somebody's talking to me about their relationship, I always ask. I was like, so were you raised by your mother or were your parents married? And 98% of the time, the case is, it was just they were raised by women. Okay, men and women alike. There occasionally I come across a dude. He was raised. His parents were married, but the woman dominated in the marriage, and it transitioned into him. Like that was his model, and then his marriage is just rocky. Okay, so yeah, that's real. All right. Confrontation. Yeah, Shannon Manning. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So Sister Shannon said, you see the way when our people come in contact with the law, they don't know how to deal with it. And that's another lesson I got to do. And I'm going to have to do it this week. But yeah, I got to do that lesson. Because our people do not know how to deal with authority. I saw it in the military. I lived it. I was one of them. You know, you want to lash out, you know. And what it is, the Most High uses cops, supervisors, and other authority figures to get us back into his will, to force us back. And I'm going to show you scriptures when I do those lessons backing that up. But it's real talk. Okay? And the thing is, you know, I put these lessons out. People find them offensive. And I'm going to tell you, it's like this is the easiest way this lesson is going to come. Because the way the Most High going to teach it to you, or the way life teaches you these lessons, A lot of times there's permanent damage, irreversible damage. You know, you ask some of these brothers and sisters to tell you their war stories. You know, I'll let you know. What I'm sitting here saying is real. It's real. This is real talk. The other thing I want to say, we're soldiers in a war. It's a spiritual war. At the end of the day, this is spiritual, and this is a campaign. Stuff like this don't change overnight. Okay? You got to wage a campaign on this, an ongoing battle. Okay? All right, let's see. Okay, so 2 John 1, elect lady, elect sister is referring to daughters of Zion females. And males are elects, precepts, the duties, spiritual duties of the elect saints. Both have spiritual authority. The true servants of the Most High must walk in the Most High royal law to love thy neighbor as thyself. Anything else is not of the Most High. Yes, but majesty on high's royalty. But the thing is, the Bible all through clearly outlines in Torah and throughout the whole Bible, it elaborates on it. It clearly outlines in precise detail the specific roles of men and women in marriage in detail. And so what I'm doing right now, when I'm teaching on the specific roles and duties and responsibilities of men and the specific roles and duties of women and how they fall in that hierarchy, the man is over the woman and how he's over him. When you have to be clear on that when you bring out stuff on that. And that's what I'm doing. I'm very clear on the man's duty over the woman as her leader and how the woman is to be submitted to the man and how she's to submit and all that. And if that's not clearly articulated, you're just going to have turmoil in your marriage. Go ahead.
Well, and the thing is, men and women alike have to desire. You have to desire wanting to be in your role, in that God-given role. You can't just walk into a marriage and just haphazardly coexist together and dwell together in unity. You have to have a desire and be in righteousness and desire to walk in your role. And all men don't desire that role.
Nope.
All women don't desire that role. That's why you have to take your time also prior to getting married and knowing what type of person you're marrying, knowing if they want to take the lead, knowing if your woman's going to want to submit.
Right.
You have to know this stuff way before you get married and exchange vows.
That's a good point, because women, if more of these leaders would tell women, look, that man you're getting ready to marry, you're going to have to obey him in all things as unto the Lord. Well, you wouldn't be trusting with Oprah and all these other people saying, oh, well, how does he make you feel? No, you're going to look at every single detailed aspect of this man's life. Yeah, you're going to test him. You're going to look at his decision-making ability. You're going to look at every aspect of this dude when you realize I got to submit to this dude as unto the Lord. Like the book say, oh, it's going to change everything.
That's right.
You know?
That's why I always say marriage is an intelligent decision.
It's not an emotional decision.
Intelligence, who are you going to marry? Because you are going to have to submit.
Speak up a little so they can hear you.
Because you are going to have to submit to whoever you choose to lord over you.
In all things.
And that's a
yeah.
product of your intelligence.
So if you get a big dummy, that's on you. A big dummy, that's on you. That's who you know. And you drank the Kool-Aid, but that's why we got to understand the deception.
And folks are sometimes questioning their intelligence.
Okay, so the sister put the Israelite spiritual head is supposed to be following Christ. They are supposed to be making disciples out of the children of Zion. So, yeah, and it tells you the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the man is Christ. Absolutely. So going back to what Koya said, my wife said, that's why the word is just so perfect, because it's telling you right there you shouldn't be making decisions on who you're going to marry or who you're going to be with on emotion, based off of emotion.
Never do that.
And I got a lesson, biblical love versus, or the biblical definition of love versus the world's definition of love. The biblical definition of love is keeping the commandments, following orders, following his instruction that's in that book. The world's definition of love is the Bible's definition of lust. Okay? So yeah, that's a heavy thing. So that's why I say, you know, we really get in a relationship. Like you can't come at me and be like, Michael, it's this woman. Or the women becoming, oh, it's these damn men. Oh, you're going to get diced up.
It takes two. It takes two for a marriage to work a cod. It takes two.
Right. And then, like I said, if Corey, if you could find that verse where it tells you that if the man is not following the word, and the woman's in the truth, and the woman recognizes this man is not following the word, it tells the woman that you can win him to the truth, not by teaching it to him, but by being an example with your chaste, humble behavior.
That's 1 Peter 3:1.
Okay, I think one of the sisters put that in there. 1 Peter. Okay, she put. Okay, so I'm near it anyway. 3:1. Okay, so I'm gonna pull that scripture up. So it's 1 Peter 3:1.
Yes.
And I'm glad, because that could be precept to the scripture we just read, that the man needs to be patient with that woman as a weaker vessel.
Right.
But the woman, because a lot of women, well, my man do this and he that and this, see these men, and the Bible tells you how to deal with that. It says, likewise, ye wives, tells you, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may, without you even having to show them the word. So it says, also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. Okay? Not while they behold your big mouth and you just running on and they gotta evacuate the house because your mouth's so daggone big. No, they're gonna, just by your behavior, they're gonna be like, dang. They're gonna be like, man, this woman made me dinner. She ain't nagging. She throwing that thing on me. They're like, man, you know what? Let me give her whatever you want me to go to that thing. You want me to go to that church service with you? Or not, I'm sorry, not that damn church service. But you want me to go over to that Shabbat with you? I'm with you. I'ma go. Because whatever they say in there, I want some of it. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't what go on out here. They subliminally encourage you. It's the man. It's the man. He got to get in order. He wicked, you know, and they don't tell you that. But same thing with the men. A lot of men hear some of these verses, be in subjection to your man in all things as unto the Lord. Kneel before me, woman. Bow. bow down, no, shut up, bow down, you know. And the next thing you know, you in there like you've been trained by Mike Tyson's trainer, you know, and throwing jabs because, you know, she won't kneel. You see what I'm saying? It's literally telling you the both thing on both sides. You got to be patient, you know. But most people, like Koya said, you ain't, if you are, you know, there's going to be little arguments and disagreements. But when it get to the point where it's just a mess, it's both y'all, man. It's both people. Me and Koya know we was both a mess coming into our marriage, but we wanted it to work.
Oh,
and we.
I was perfect, honey. I don't know
Okay. Yeah, see?
I had my stuff together. I was perfect.
According to what?
According to the law. I was perfect.
But yeah, but we both knew we had a lot to work through, you know. But the Most High took us through that so that we could,
Right.
you know, be able to let folks humble us down first,
Right.
and be able to educate folks.
Right.
Okay. Let's see. All right. A woman is a wife, married females, or the children of Zion. Christ is the adult, unmarried daughters of Zion, husband. No man is spiritually over or above an adult, unmarried daughter of Zion. Well, the women aren't supposed. A woman, according to Torah and the book and everything, our women would not be uncovered. Okay, so like my daughters. They're understanding now. They fall into what the world says, you know, it's going to be a mess, you know, but a woman should always have a man over her, okay? So I want to, my desire is to marry my daughters off to somebody in our congregation that we deal with here, or one of the other ones we deal with here, you know? So to where they're not out there in the world getting deceived and wrestling and it being a mess out there and everything. You see what I'm saying? Now, for the women there's women out there uncovered, like I said, I got a lesson coming up. I'm still doing going over information, but there's things I see and information I've been told and stuff going on out there in the Hebrew community. It's a mess. It clearly shows our women need covering. They need they need a man over them. Because I've watched women make bad decisions on people they thought were in the truth, that me as a man, I could just, without even talking to the dude, see that he trouble and he off, but they couldn't see it. But that's a whole nother lesson. And that's a heavy thing. It's widespread in the Hebrew community. Because there's a lot of dudes out there, you know, throw on a kufi and all this and the fringes. I'm brewed up. And they, you know, 3 times a child of hell or something, you know. Yeah, I got that lesson coming, sis. That lesson coming. All right, Cora, you have to be in agreement. Yeah. But like I said, again, y'all you're not gonna be in agreement. You're gonna reality is, I get the phone calls. Oh, my husband, he don't want to hear nothing about this word. Or my wife, she in Christianity and she don't want to have nothing to do with this truth or this, that, and the other. So yeah, if you want to paint the Disney World model, the fairy tale model of a marriage, oh, we're both in agreement. Oh, I love you. We love the Lord. Oh, let's get married and all that. But that ain't reality. Reality is the woman's in Christianity. She don't want to hear nothing about this truth. Or the man into something and the woman's in this truth. Like, that's reality. And how do you win them over? How do you come into this thing? And I'm telling you, the way you deal with that is you got to have your mind right first. You got to have your patience and your ability to deal with frustration. Your mind got to be aligned with the instruction first. And then through your actions, you're going to win them. You stand a better chance of winning them into this truth. Okay? Because that whole thing of, well, it ain't going to work unless y'all are in agreement. Well, then ain't nothing going to work. But the book tells you how to win them into the truth. Okay?
Yeah, because that's
all right. So,
both people coming in.
Go ahead. Speak up so they can hear you.
You have both, the woman and the man coming into the union or the covenant with baggage on some level.
On a lot, yeah.
You probably were raised 9 times out of 10. You guys were raised differently,
Yeah.
And whatever happened in your life, all your upbringing, all that stuff, you're different. You're different, obviously because it's a man and a woman, but then you come in with baggage.
Right.
You gotta.
So let me say this. A lot of women and a lot of what's taught out there, even in the Hebraic community, because we're going to talk about this stuff for real. Because this is what makes a marriage work. So I got to tell you. So a lot, what they're not telling, nobody's telling the women, hey, this is how you win your man over. Nobody's telling the men, this is how you. So this is what you got in the Hebrew community. You got one side that just continues the Christian approach and tells the man, okay, if your marriage isn't working, you need to lick her boot better. Okay, you need to lick the whole thing and continue to worship her. You're not worshiping the woman enough, So you got one side, then you got the other extreme, the camp side, where they're telling you, make her kneel or get rid of her, and they just add to the woman's scars and pain. Okay? Which we went over that. I told you. These women, look, let's be 100. Black women can be hell dealing with them. But then it helps you know how Christ, the patience he had with you when you were out there being a nightmare. So now you get to experience it. Okay? But let's be 100. Look at some of these men out here. They a disastrous mess too. And a lot, like the men, because of our pride, we have a real hard time seeing where we off at. So it's both sides. But let's get down to the nitty gritty, the painful stuff. As a man, when your wife being difficult and she just not listening and it's frustrating and you know you right and you are right at what you're trying to explain to her and they don't want to listen, again, and we already read the scripture, it said you got to deal with her as a weaker vessel. You got to understand the dynamics that made her stubborn, stiff-necked, whatever like that. Because you were that way at one point, whatever. But let's get into, all right, now we're going to get into deep water what nobody want to ever do, correct the women. Because the women really don't like hearing this. They don't, just let me say hold on. So the women really don't like to hear this. And that is that 1 Peter chapter 3. When you got a problem with your man and how he behaving, it tells you the exact opposite of what society says or what your feelings say. It tells you to be quiet and just serve that man and win him over. It tells you to win him over to this truth. It don't tell you to nag him and emotionally tirade and flip out and nag him to the truth. That's what nobody's saying. That's right. The unpopular truth.
Right. That's not effective.
It ain't. Dude, because let me
you out as a woman.
Oh, you damn right. Because if you got a real dude, a real soldier, Michael Israel, hey, the more you come at him, the more he coming back. Because what? He designed to fight. He a lion. You ain't going to win a battle against a lion. That lion going to dig in because he designed for war. But when you come up on that big line and you just real nice and snuggle up against him, he gonna turn into putty. And you can do whatever you Koya know. If she want me to do something, like she dropped that plate on the table and do some other things, it's a wrap. Like I turn into putty. She could get anything she want out of me.
No, it's not just a plate and some sex. I'll just tell you.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. No, it's having a conversation.
It is.
It's having a conversation.
And this woman just
And
completely disarms.
Have your behavior aligned with the Most High.
Yes. And if she wanted to, she'd get anything off me. But she's a righteous woman. She ain't gonna come take advantage of me that way. But this is what women don't know.
Exactly. That's
Only thing
true.
only thing these women know how to do is be big mouth monsters, and the men be like, and they dig in, and it just turn into a mess.
Right.
Okay, that's facts. Good morning. What's going on?
Good morning, Bocato.
You go open the door. You can sit there with your mother if you want. So yeah, this is, I'm telling you, it's not complicated, but a lot of women are full of pride, and even like right now, there's women listening, and there ain't no way in the world they gonna do that.
Right.
So sister put everybody's spiritual duties is first to the Most High, then to Christ, and the Holy Spirit. Husbands and wives wait online. But what you're saying, if your duty is to the Most High, where did he give you your duties? The book. His instruction is what you supposed to be doing. And I'm reading you book.
Right.
He told you. It's right there in the book what your duties are to. It tells you that his instruction, or the Bible, tells you exactly what you are supposed to be doing. So if I see a woman operating outside what the instruction, his book says, then I automatically know that who they really follow. They're following Satan. Okay? Because the book clearly lays out what the woman's role is. That is spirit. He said the words that I speak are spirit. So a lot of these people, no, the Most High told me this. The Most High told me that. I'm like, oh, okay, he did? Okay. If it don't line up with the book, then I know who that came from. Hasatan. And you will know them by their fruit. So all you got to do, like my man Yehukanan be saying, he said, watch their footwork. All you got to do is watch the footwork. You watch how folks is moving, you watch the results of how they're moving, the results they're getting in their lives, and you know who they rocking with. It ain't complicated. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So the Holy Spirit, Christ, all of them follow the book. They don't do anything outside what the book say. You see what I'm saying? So we just keep them 100 there. All right. So let's see. All right. Let me let's go back to some of these scripts. It says all right. So it
Elijah put something in there.
and where?
In the comments.
Oh, Elijah said men should take the wisdom and intuition from their wives and remove the emotions when making the final decision. Absolutely. That's wisdom.
That's good, Elijah.
You can, like a wise man, you're going to consider what your wife says. Right. You know, you're going to, exactly. That's wisdom. You know, oh, she below me. Only thing she do is make my plate and do this. You know, nah. Because, like, you know, there are wise women out there. Women are smarter than you in certain areas. Like Koya in certain areas is smarter than me. And a wise leader, a wise CEO of the house is going to, you know, like the CEO of a company ain't working in the financial department and then working in the operations department. No, he got a CFO and a what's the other one? CIO or something, whatever. You know, he got people appointed in them positions. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, let's see. So the sister put, many males are walking in male idolatry. They have made themselves equal to Christ. I agree. Because that's what I was saying earlier is you got two types of men, especially in this Hebraic walk. You got a type of man who just cowers to women and it's a turn off. It's not attractive because women are attracted to leaders. And then you got another male who's a dictator. So he's not leading the woman, he's lording over the woman. Okay? He's lording over her. And now, I'm your Lord, worship me, kneel before me. And he's not leading righteously. Okay? The model, let me show you example of what I'm talking about though. Real cool. All right, no, that wasn't it. Okay, so the model of how, so this is for women. It tells you, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. And so if you're a man or a woman, you want to know what that marriage model is supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like how Christ dealt with Israel. So the same way Israel as a nation dealt with Christ, that's how the wife is to deal with her husband and the husband is to deal with the wife. And how did Christ deal with Israel? He was patient. He was long-suffering with them. He tolerated their whatever, you know. But then there was a time when the patience ran out and all that stuff like that. So, yeah. So, and same thing with the women. The hurdle, the biggest hurdle to women is overcoming that pride and humbling down and subjecting themselves to a man's authority. Like to say a man's authority to some women, just they get a feeling inside them and they because it's a spirit that has been put on them from years of hurt, from bitterness, unforgiveness, not understanding why they got done the way they did by men growing up, why men violated them. These women have had abortions, so they have a lot of unforgiveness. They got spirits on them. They got demons that they got to overcome. Same thing with men. They got spirits of lust on them. They got spirits of femininity on them. The spirits of fear on them. All types of stuff. So it ain't one-sided. Hey, look. If one person get their mind right and get their mind spiritually aligned and get the demons off them, whether it's the man or the woman, it's going to greatly, the chances of that marriage or relationship going down the drain are slim to none.
And usually that's the woman.
No.
Women mature faster than men.
Oh, you're saying usually the women what?
Have an easier time coming under correction.
See, we don't agree on everything in our relationship.
Well, I was the one. I'll say in our marriage, I think that I was more, and I'm not trying to be self-righteous.
No.
But I didn't have a whole bunch of issues.
All right, moving forward with this one.
No, come on now, seriously. I didn't have a whole bunch of men problems and men.
Oh, well, no. I agree with that. I
have some selfish tendencies, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. No, it wouldn't have worked. Yeah. No,
Koya,
so Koya from very early on.
I wanted to be married. I had the desire to be married.
She did. I
And
agree with that. Yeah,
yes,
I agree with that.
I didn't just like.
But don't get
been
it twisted.
fighting and struggling and in rebellion.
She wasn't
and-
Miss Perfect. I thought that's how you were trying to come. I was like, all right.
No. I'm saying that.
I'm about to say, y'all about to see some transparency on this
on
mug.
both ends, right? No,
But-
seriously,
Well, yeah, let me speak on that.
because
So,
I was older, and and I was influenced by what I had saw with my leadership. That marriage is that's what I wanted. That's what I desired, and I made myself available for that.
right.
I wasn't, out here trying to be rebellious and loudmouth and stubborn and all that.
No.
That wasn't in my life. It wasn't
Right.
in my life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
I didn't have
when I'll say that I agree with that, with what she said on that. Yeah. All right, so somebody said, but a man operating outside that hinders his prayers. I agree. Yeah, the book said that. The woman doesn't have that stipulation, yes. But if your man is operating outside of that, and your man's not on here, but you are, so you can hear this, and you want to fix that, and you want to stop him from hindering his prayers, a lot of times only one person's getting this. So this is what you are empowered and called to and instructed to do. You're instructed to do that. 1 Peter 3:1. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. In any situation in a marriage where there's issue, there's something that either side can do to effectively change the situation or influence the situation. So, for instance, the wrong move would be to be like, you hindering your prayer. That's on you. It's on you. It ain't me. It's you. And blah, blah, blah. And all this stuff. And that's what they'll tell you to do. Or a lot of these Hebrew teachers or spiritual teachers or people teaching this word will sit there and tell you, yeah, it's him. He holding up his prayers. That's on that man. No, it's on you too. Because the book told you how to win him over. It said it's basically saying use your feminine ways to encourage him to walk in this word. And you don't have to whack him over the head with the Bible. It said that without the word, you'll win him over. Okay? But like I said, coming back at the men. If your wife off or your wife out of order, I'm telling you, when you begin being patient, and when I say being patient don't mean just turning, all right, I'm gonna just let her act like a monster, whatever. No, it means dealing with her and not jumping on the emotional roller coaster with her. It means just letting, what? All right, you can act like a nut. Like, all right, 7-day snooze, I'm going to the beach, and just leave. Instead of punching her in the head and yelling and screaming.
Don't punch her in the head.
Yeah,
Guys,
yeah.
We're not condoning any type
No,
of
yeah.
violence on spiritual combat. Please don't be out here punching people, women and men.
Yeah, because I get the calls, and folks is putting hands on each other. And it said, be angry and sin not. Don't let the sun go down on your wrath. And you go in the wrath, because the sister asked last week, well, when do you win it? Like and I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna show you where the thin line of where it goes from anger to wrath. The way you know when you're going into wrath is when you're no longer just arguing about whatever the situation is, okay, or the topic. You're not arguing about that anymore. Now you're throwing punches. And when I say throwing punches, throwing verbal punches.
Yeah.
You're saying stuff to upset them and to get them back for that hurt. That's when you need to do your 2-day snooze or your whatever. Go leave.
Men and
Sometimes-
women follow that principle. principle.
Yeah,
It's not
either one of
designed
y'all
for
leave.
men.
Yeah,
Women, you leave too if that stuff is going on.
yeah, just leave.
That's right.
That's not a sin.
That's right.
If you just up and leave, go and just take some time off.
That's right.
There's plenty of nice places to enjoy out here, men and women alike. Yeah.
Right. So a sister had a question about, 1 Peter 3:7.
Where-
Scripture
where-
about husbands.
Facebook or
likewise.
YouTube?
YouTube. I'm on YouTube.
Okay. So let's go to it.
1 Peter 3:7.
Okay, we're here. I'll pull it up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So basically, she wants you to explain why this isn't influencing men to, treat their wives correctly, because their prayers are hindered if they don't. Why isn't this being taught? I think that was her question.
Because-
Why are people straying away from this scripture?
Okay.
Why are men
It
shying away
said.
from reading
Okay.
this?
It says like.
Especially camps. I think that's
Okay.
what she
It
said.
says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as heirs. So, all right, two things. And I said it in the beginning. Number one, a lot of them don't understand it. Like me, I went through this. Like, I've lived through this. I went through being a kind of weak pushover, emasculated, feminized man to being a real biblically grounded man. And I went through everything in between. I went all the way over into the hyper masculinity where I'm like, whatever, women this, and then coming back to that balance. It's a balance. And what the problem is, men and women alike, the people out here teaching the book and all that, look, let me put it like this. If somebody teaching you something, make sure you know that they, walking the thing out. Like y'all see Koya. Y'all see me. We're very transparent. Y'all see, a lot of y'all on here watching met Koya. Some of y'all, like Diamond and some of y'all other y'all watching, have hung out with us.
Right.
And seen us
Absolutely.
rock, and function.
Right.
But then you got people out here teaching stuff and twisting stuff. You ain't never met them. You don't even know if they damn married. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's so true.
Going back to address what the sister said, a lot of people don't understand the meat and the weightiness on here. And I got a lot of scriptures backing this up on what I say. Backing this whole thing up all the way from verse 1. And what all three of these scriptures are saying is, men, you can't be this. Look at how Christ dealt. He was patient and long-suffering. He's showing you how Christ dealt with stuff. And he's telling the women, humble down, don't get carried away by your emotion, and encourage and persuade the man in the walk in the truth through your behavior. Both things that were said there are extremely, what they require? What both of these things that I brought out require in a man and in a woman? Huge humility. They, at the end of the day, is going to require, you can't do what it said there if you got a spirit of pride on you. This is why a lot of men and women, they wrestle with that. They wrestle with, like, a man who's in some dominating role telling him to back off, and that, hey, you just, like, a lot of these men just want to throw these women away. Well, the women been thrown away her whole life. That's why she kicking against authority.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying, no, a lot of these women have been goddess worship their whole life on pedestals.
Yeah.
So the last thing they want to do is step off the pedestal and get in a rightful spot that the Bible tells them. It's pride, dude. A lot of it's pride. A lot of men have fear, have a spirit of fear on them. A lot of men don't want to step up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, Dan is, what's her name? How you pronounce it?
Dennis.
Yeah, Dan said, don't punch her in the head. Don't punch. None of y'all should be punching because, hey, look, bust it. I get more reports of women hitting men than anything else. Real talk. So, yeah. So when you see her sitting there shaking and them fists balled up, you should already be pulling out the driveway to go on your vacation. All right, let's see. All right, so sister, she put, it's beautiful that you and your wife are ministering together. That is the Most High's truth and spirit. The faithful are supposed to be walking in. That is the royal law, to love thy neighbor as thyself. Exactly.
Hallelujah.
And what is love? Love is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, the instruction. That's love. Love isn't some emotional feeling. That is, I forget what the word is. They have a word for that. But love is obeying the orders, functioning in that way, treating your neighbor, your wife, whoever, in the way that the instruction said is showing love. Okay? Let's see. He makes...
Well, I wasn't going to come in here. I try not to, get in the way of... but I said, well, he's talking about marriage. He's married to me. Maybe I should go in there and have a seat and see how this goes.
And let me tell you,
I try not to get in the way. I really do.
No, I try to get her on the show, and she be pissing me off because she won't come on the show, But she comes on because I know a lot of women have asked, they want to see, Koya come on the show more, but she not that type of woman where she want to be out there in the front. She likes, So let's see, she could put, it sounds like harmony between the man and woman is the key to freedom, yet the Hebrew community as a whole, not you, are teaching to dominate her, something our men hate for themselves. Yeah. Well, and let me say this now. Now, I tell them because, look, let's look at reality and what I have to deal with. Majority of men are dominated by women. Like the majority of the calls I get, majority of women are turned off by men. And what happens in the Hebrew community is like a knee-jerk response to it. Okay? Now they done went to the other extreme. Now they macho boys. Yeah.
Right.
And they don't, and it's just the same thing, it's the same turnoff because the women know it ain't authentic, But on the same note, I'll tell a dude, if she running her mouth, check her.
Don't. You say check her, what do you mean by that? So you're clear to people what that means. Not punch her, check her.
Oh, okay. When I say check her, I ain't letting no woman run all over me. Talk down to me. And I, okay, baby. Okay, I'm sorry. And then she like, man, that nigga weak as hell.
No, you just say, hey, do we need to pray?
No, I don't say that. What do I say?
No, that's what I say. Do we need to pray?
No.
How's your day?
No, that ain't what you...
No, do we need to pray? Do we need to get
Hey, man, look.
Do we need to pass out some space?
Hey, look, Sister Koya get it on. We get, trust me, because she ain't dominated by me. I tower over her, and she got a King David spirit. So don't get it twisted. But it don't go,
I'm a little Lily over here.
You hear that laughing, right? But no, let me say this. We are spiritually mature enough to know when, hey, we're angry at each other. We get angry, we get arguments, but it don't turn into rage.
No.
See, that's the problem. You got women, they've been hurt, and men who they're really not in real masculine men, and they get their feelings hurt, and it turn into frustration and rage. And it don't turn into that here. Here it's like, you know what, whatever. And we'll go off. She go in her room. I'll go watch TV. And then 5 minutes later, we just chilling on the couch.
And you have to know your triggers. What triggers you? You know some things are gonna really piss your man off.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Don't do
And
that.
I know how to push them buttons.
Yes, Michael Israel. And he knows, I know his buttons too.
Yep.
And we know that, okay.
But we passed that. We don't go there.
We really are. We
Yeah.
truly are.
Because
And if you love somebody, you wouldn't just be
and
out
you
here.
trust them. You trust.
Yes.
So look. So she trusts that. You know
Push
what?
buttons. Like,
She's
what is that?
seen. Now this is heavy because I'm so glad this came up. This is heavy. She trusts that I heard what she said.
Yeah.
Even though I ain't gonna sit there, you ain't gonna punk me, cause
Don't
you
be
damn
no
right,
punk.
I'm a
No
masculine
punk.
man,
No punk.
and I got my macho, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
you know. So whatever, but she knows from repetitive reinforcement, whatever you want to call it. She's seen me time and time again, hear her concerns out,
Right.
and then be like, all right, whatever, go away, you know. But she's seen me listen and understand where she coming from. Same thing with me. Like, cause I voice my stuff.
Yeah.
And
In a big way.
you damn right. But look, I've seen her be obedient at time and time again.
Right.
You know, and like however y'all want to say it, because I know some of my lessons come down the middle and people act like I'm the Hebrew Ike Turner or something, but that ain't the case up in
You're
here.
always posting that silly picture on.
It's funny, but it's you know, it's spiritual growth, and you know it's at the end of the day, the heavy thing is like, all right, once the emotion and knowing that, okay, let me consciously knowing, let me let this emotion calm down, and now let me look at what went down. And I'm telling you, there are so many men and women who don't do that. Like I done dealt with men, I see that spirit on them. They're not gonna consider. They're not. Damn it, they're right. They done dug their heels in, and their relationships reflect that. Same with women. You see a lot of women that, but I ain't getting under no man, and they'll gravitate to the scripture twister, who doesn't hold her accountable to having to get up under that man. So that's the ministry they're gonna rock with,
Itching ears.
or itching ears. Yeah. All right. So let's see. My wife is in love with the world. She will not read and truly has a rebellious spirit. I am losing patience. Her response is that I'm trying to control her. Should I step back and focus on my walk? Look, good question. Let me say this, cause I'll give you an example. Better yet, all right. There was a dude whose wife was in another religion, and their thing had got to the point where it got physical. Okay, and he'd try to show her the scripture and all that stuff like that, and you know she wouldn't receive it, and it turned into arguments, and well, you need to, and it got physical. And when I talked to him, I was like, well, dude, I wouldn't receive it either. You trying to cram it down my damn throat. I was like, look, the most effective witness is your behavior. So how I deal with that, if she out in the world, I'll be like, hey, I'm going to Shabbat, you know, boom, 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 boom. I'm just going, boom, come back. I stop talking to her about the word. Hey, I need you to do that. Well, I ain't doing it. Why don't you do this? I'm like, all right, whatever. And back off emotionally, you know, and step off, you know. And you know, if you contact, my email's up there. If you contact me on email, I can really go into detail on what I'm talking about. But, you know, she'd see by my behavior that, hey, you know, I'm backing off.
And don't forget the power of prayer.
Yeah, you need. Yeah,
you know, pray for your wife.
You need to pray, and I'm sure he's been praying.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, and what I'm trying to communicate is, the most powerful witness is in your behavior.
Yeah,
that's the most powerful witness, not all this scripture talking and memorization. Well, thou, thee, and thou. but a lot of these dudes don't be realizing where they are in the scripture on their whole approach to the thing.
Right.
You know? Because I'm telling you, and like I said, you could go back and look at my biblical masculinity series that I did, and I'll do it again here soon. I've done it multiple times. You should watch them all. When you walk in biblical masculinity, a woman can't resist being attracted to you and being obedient. It's real hard for them to not be obedient. But when you walk in like a emaciated, castrated, soft, weak, effeminate man, and you walk, and you are emotional, and she jump on the emotional roller coaster, and you jump on right next to her, and both y'all like,
Going
like that.
Fast.
Yeah, that's why it's going around in circles. Somebody gotta get off
That's right.
the amusement park ride
Spiritual maturity.
and just sit there like this.
Yes, that's right.
Watch them go around and around in the ride in, and they get on.
Somebody got to be the
Yeah.
voice of reason.
So like I said, the way to do that, again, I go completely through all this with spiritual combat. Is the place to start is reading Proverbs. If you actively pissed off and going through something, read the book of Psalms. Then read Proverbs. And when you read Proverbs, don't be reading it and be like, yep, this that's this No, read it, be like, is this
See
me?
yourself in it.
Is this me? Is this me? And I'm telling you, you start walking in that. And what I'm saying is that don't mean you turn into some pushover and all that. See, what you're talking about, that's a whole nother lesson, but it's doable. Okay, so let's see. Okay.
Just for the record, Michael, you've never been a pushover.
Thank you. Y'all hear that? All right, but all right. Okay. So she's talking. They're talking in the Shalom, Yehukanan, Yasha Allah. What's going on out? All right. So yeah. So this thing it is. But that's how you have to do it. You have to really walk this thing out in biblical masculinity. And you can it's what I just said there, or if you watch the biblical masculinity lesson, I need to do a more complete, organized lesson on it. Maybe next week. Well, I'm gonna be out of town next weekend. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be in Tennessee next week. For any of y'all near Tennessee, I'm gonna be out there in Nashville at here. There we go, right here. I'm gonna be at this event next week. See, that's where I'm gonna be next week. So y'all register, y'all check that out. Okay. But I need to do a comprehensive breakdown on biblical masculinity and biblical femininity. And you can't get through that lesson without seeing yourself in it. And huge areas where you're just hurting yourself and working against yourself in the biblical masculinity lesson. If you're on my YouTube, it's on there now. So you can see it. It's on there. You could check it out. But that is how... if your wife's in the world like that, women are emotional and women are sensitive. Don't get it twisted, okay? And they're emotional and they're denied. I'm sure Corey and Ray come against me, but I don't care.
Well,
when they
the
see,
older we get, the less.
Okay, but when a woman senses, and it's not bad, but their senses are more acute. And when I say their senses, their sense of discernment, right, evaluating behaviors are more sensitive than yours. So when you change your behavior, they have an immediate response to it. So like I said, you can email me or whatever, and go. We could go in on detail on exactly what you got going on. But trust me, or you just watch the biblical masculinity thing too, and it's gonna really shed light on how you need to be walking in the thing, and not kind of the strong silent type where you ain't act like some emotional forceful boy who wants something forced on him. Why? That's huge. Because what a lot of men try to do, and women too, is try to, you see, you sinning, you eating that wicked ass pork. You doing this, you doing that. You evil, you going to hell now. This, that, and the other. Instead of walking it out. And they're like, dang, they didn't change. What they got going on? That is powerful when you're not a burden to them and you become an asset in their life, man or woman, whatever. All right, let's see. We can see beyond we can't see beyond what's in front of us, in my opinion. Yeah. And exactly. Now, that's so heavy what she said. She said we can't see beyond what's right in front of us. Like, and let me word that so you understand exactly what she said. We can't see beyond our emotional impulses and feelings. We're blinded by them and we think it's the truth. And that's why these people will twist simple scriptures that are just, it's so hard to misinterpret them, and you watch folks twist them because they can't see beyond their emotional impulses and feelings, okay? Their carnality, okay? So what you have to do is bend your, align your emotions and your impulses with the word, and then things are gonna, that's when, that's when you begin to see true change. And that is heavy. That's the weighty matter. That's where Christ said, he told you, first clean the inside of the cup. That's where the work happens. Once you clean the inside of that cup and are humiliated and humbled down and get your mind right, then everything else makes sense. Like people could read stuff that I never really studied in the book, but because I've done some of this work, I got a deep understanding of that verse, So yeah. Go ahead, baby.
Nothing. So how would you
speak up so they can hear you?
So, ending this live, what would you give to everyone that's watching? What would you tell them would be the main thing on how to keep your marriage together, how to make it work, how to keep your marriage intact, how to keep it, in that place of overflow?
Okay, so all right, that's a good question.
Or at least getting it to a place where everybody's on one accord.
Right, and what's the first step? Right, yeah, and it's growing. Like, look, some stuff happened at work this week where I was like, dude, I'm still stubborn. I gotta work on this thing. I was like, dang. And I know it was the Most High. Because if with my suit, at my job, I got one of the toughest, no joke supervisors that, trust me, he the real deal, okay? But he's a good guy. And me and him are cool, but he don't play. And that's the Most High perfecting me. Because 3 or 4 years ago, I couldn't have had that supervisor. You know what I'm saying? And the supervisor got a lot of respect for him, but he still don't play. And it's just the Most High perfecting me. So there's always work to do. So don't get it twisted. Don't think Michael Israel done arrived. It's warfare. So answering what Koya said, which was such a great question, is what we need. If I could leave you with one thing, it would be you need to get in the book of, if you're having relationship problems, you, whether you're a man or a woman, need to get in the book of Proverbs and look at it and use it like a mirror, not a window. Okay? Read through it and use it like a mirror to look at yourself, not a window to look out at somebody else. And that's the first step. And that's going to get your mind.
Also say forgiveness.
But again, that's in the book of Proverbs. Yeah, don't hold on to bitterness. Right. That's in there. All that's in there. But that's the one thing I would say. Now, hey, you're hooking on. If you on there, can you get the prayer line up and going for me? Or Elia, if you're on there, let me know if you can. Okay. All right. And with that, I want to put the information up there. We have a men's prayer line. I'll bring it up here in one sec. Yeah, we got a men's prayer line. I'm going to put the information up here. Okay? And there it is. It's up there on the screen. And I'm going to call in a sec to see if they got it up. But this is the men's prayer line. And it's led by, it's normally my Haji Go Lightly. I call him Haji Go Heavy. You know what I'm saying? Because the dude be going heavy. But the prayer line is led by him. Okay, so you're hooking on is getting ready to get it up and going. And like I said, we're going to, so you come on the prayer line. We pray and we fellowship us men about male problems. I know Koya is going to be working on one for the women. So that the sisters want to get on there. We've been busy this week though, but so that the sisters can get on there, you know. It's not going to be led by her every single week, but we get a couple sisters so y'all can get on there, talk, fellowship after the lesson. But anyway, the phone number to the prayer line is 605-468-8715. And the access code is 533144. And also I want to remind y'all, come out to the 2019 summer gathering in Tennessee. It's in Tennessee. You can send out, if you want information on it, email this Ak right here. That's Ak Yosef. I don't know, if that'll focus. There it is. So there's the email. Koya put it on the YouTube. It's yazhouse7@gmail.com. Send an email to him if you want more information, if you want to come out. I'm going to be there. Ron Dalton's going to be there. Judah Mack's going to be there. It's going to be real ox talking real things. I'm going to do a lesson on biblical masculinity and femininity. It's going to be real talk. And the conference is a very, not effective. It's like, it's about, we're going to go over the scriptures. It's about survival skills, marriage tips, preparation methods, business advice. So this ain't no entertainment. We're going to have a little concert, but it's a more, what's the word? Like, enriching type thing where you're going to leave there with something. You're going to leave being more informed than you are when you came. So it's going to be real good, man. It's going to be a lot of heavy information. I've been to one of Ak Yosef's conferences before in Cincinnati where we learned some boxing and business and just met some real ox out there. So, and it's men and women both. It's not just a men's conference, so it's gonna be awesome. So if you're in the region, definitely come on out. All right. So let's see. Okay. So and Daweed will be on the line. His wife just said he'll be on there. So like I said, go ahead and call in there. we're going to be wrapping the show up here soon. See y'all's comments. All praises, Yah, for his word, praying every minute for all of you. Oh, appreciate it. We need it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Is
Hallelujah.
this a different event than the Watchmen's? Oh, I didn't know he was having something. I didn't know he was having one. Elias said we need to do a retreat. Yeah, I'm doing but I'm a soldier, man. I don't believe in retreat. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I'll take that. I'll take the retreat.
But yeah, we're gonna be doing an event here in Jacksonville. I just gotta put it all together. I'm gonna wait till all this stuff slow down because there's so much going on. So yeah, we're gonna do an event down here. So, but yeah, we need to do something for sure. And like I said, if I do an event, it's gonna be a very Oh, you want me to show the flyer for Tennessee again? Okay. So here it is. Don't worry, the camera will focus. It'll get it. Let me see. I gotta go like this. Boom. There it is. Okay. That the email's right there at the bottom. yazhouse7@gmail.com. That's how you get information for it. Okay. So definitely do that. Tell them Michael Israel sent you. All right, let's see. All right, let's see.
No, but I think that's a great idea, going back to the retreat thing. And I think we talked about this maybe a couple months ago, having a retreat, a marriage retreat.
Yeah, Elias said log cabin and couples.
Yeah.
Yep.
Up in Tennessee, Gatlinburg. It's nice out there.
I'm bringing my shotgun though. I gotta make because I heard there's some bears up there for sure. High brass slugs. Or I bring my AR-10.
Plenty of practice last weekend, so
yeah,
we're ready to go.
Man, we went up there to Georgia last week. Man, we got it in. Everybody was shooting. We trained the kids up. All the kids got to shoot.
My daughters.
Our daughters got to shoot. Because we had that AR-22, so it's not loud. You don't have to wear hearing protection. It doesn't have a lot of kick. But you learn the functionality of an assault weapon, of the weapon. So it was edifying, man. Everybody had a ball. My Akalaya wasn't there, though, so it wasn't what it could have been because, the elder wasn't there, man. But we're going to do it again. I look forward to it. But yeah, it was awesome up there, fellowshipping with those ox up there. Just out in nature, just getting it in. Okay, we got Will of the Most High. So we got to do it again. Wifey and I missed it at the range. Yeah, man, it was good, man. It was.
I like the open range so much better.
Yeah.
Because I was trained, at a facility.
Yeah, I taught.
So nerve-wracking. I didn't think I was gonna get through it.
I taught Koya how to shoot in an indoor range,
yes.
which I think is the best environment because it's extra loud, and when they shoot the guns in there, you feel the concussion, and you want to learn to shoot under pressure. Yeah. You always want to keep yourself under. You always want to keep yourself under pressure when you're shooting, because when you shoot and you have to use your gun in real life, it's gonna be in a pressure, stressful situation. Right. So you want to mimic that the best you can. So she learned to shoot at an indoor range, and it's real loud, and you can feel the shock waves hitting you.
And you never know which direction.
Yeah, you don't know who gonna shoot when
and what they shooting.
How big it is.
Some is a little louder than others.
Oh yeah.
So it's intense.
So yeah. So when she was out there, she shot everything, but her and Haji's wife, they shot the big stuff, boy. They're shooting the shotgun. So yeah, we was getting it in. But yeah, it was awesome. We definitely gotta get our people just trained up where if you have to hunt or something, you can defend yourself and provide for yourself. in a lot of ways. So like I said, we got conferences coming up. We're going to do that. We're going to get that in. Trust me. The Spiritual Combat Conference, there's going to be some force on force training.
Right.
You know what that is?
I sure do.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get it in, man. It's gonna be good. I'm putting it together. Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm gonna check to see if the prayer line is up. Let me call in here. Let me see. All right, y'all bear with me. Michael Israel. All right, so it's up. We good. We in there. What I'm gonna do? All right, hold on. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I appreciate y'all tuning in. Please, if you want to support this ministry and help out, hit the like button and hit the share button. That's how you can support and help. All right, please do that. If it was edifying, I appreciate all y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all's prayers and support.
Yes.
And with that said, man, I'm going to take it out with my man, Beloved Dawid, Mind Culture. The title of the song is Rest of My Life.
Rest of my life, rest of my life, rest of my life, rest of my life, rest of my forever. Yeah, this is my job for the rest of my life, the rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my life, the rest of my life. This is my job for the rest of my life, the rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my life. Telling the truth, rest of my life, loving the most high, all of my life, rest of my life, rest of my life, rest of my life, yeah. I'm standing my ground. The truth is the weapon. Please don't Malcolm X me. They shunning the message and killing the messenger. All over words. It must be the truth that I'm telling. These devils offended. You call it they trash. Don't buy up the shit that they selling. They label you bad. God know what leads to the flash. Know what they hide. Know that my homeland ain't where I reside. Hey, who am I kid? I'm speaking to ears that never do listen. You gotta be talking them digits. Helping the children. Principal mission. I am a pediatrician. I'm done with this story. Get it, this story. Brother, I'm doing my story. Cause we are the people. I'd rather be better, never that equal. The feelings is mutual. Ain't speaking no evil. Examine your leader. Not doing religion. I'm open with politics. Calling me so controversial. They say I'm too raw, but spit is so eloquent. Like I've been spitting in curses. Their business is personal. Won't charge you for food. Won't do what a church do. I do what a nurse do. I call on a doctor and wait on my number. Forever I'm humble. I live with my shame. Let me die with some honor. 100. This is my job for the rest of my life. The rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my life. The rest of my life. This is my job for the rest of my life. The rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my life. Telling the truth. Rest of my life. Loving the most high. All of my life. Rest of my life. Rest of my life. Rest of my life. Rest of my life.